Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and today I want to talk about the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds closed beta. And I'll start off by saying I haven't played too many Sonic Racing games. I think I only have played the one on the Wii U that was called like Transform or something. So I don't really have too much experience with the Sonic Racing series. And I guess I've also played the Sonic Riders games, or at least a couple of them. But other than that, this is going to be mostly me comparing it to Mario Kart, because this does feel really similar to that, but then also different. So yeah, I'll just say this, from the get-go, I had a lot of fun playing this. When I sat down to record some gameplay, I was like, okay, we'll do a couple races just to get enough gameplay, and then get a general idea. But as I was playing, I just kept wanting to play more and more, and then as you can see in the footage, I didn't do great, especially in my first races, but as I kept going and kept playing, I did do better. I was like a little scared that I was like, oh, is this just going to be the limit where I'm just like okay at the game, but I was pretty close sometimes. The whole gimmick for this is the CrossWorlds. Like in lap 2 of the races, you'll go to a whole different section, and whoever's in first can kind of choose it. And yeah, each of these CrossWorlds is like a whole different map. The fire one, you'd mostly be flying, where in like the pirate ship one, you'd be in the waves. So it'd be kind of like a different gameplay, though they're very similar, you know? I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling. But it was really cool to at least have this like different map in between. And for a long time I didn't realize that the race was 3 laps, because you do the first lap and then you go into this CrossWorld, and then you do the second lap back in the original map. And I was like, oh, it's only 2 races, and you only do the CrossWorlds once. But the CrossWorlds is a whole different lap. To me, it makes the races feel a little shorter. But yeah, I also thought the maps were really pretty. A lot of them didn't really feel like Sonic maps in particular. At least they have some Sonic enemies in the map. But I don't know, like, while overall I did enjoy the maps, they just didn't feel like Sonic to me. But it's alright, because you play as Sonic characters, and there's a whole ton of them to play as. And I thought this beta had a good selection of characters, though I was really wanting to play as Blaze, and she just isn't here. And then even this purple guy from Lost World. I don't know why they chose him. Like, you couldn't even get Zavik as your Lost World rep for this beta? Like, no. It's like they were like, okay, we need a purple character. And then Blaze, like, raises her hand, and then they choose the Lost World guy anyways. Like, no, I'm here. Choose me instead. And then they chose him, and it's like, why? So I'm hoping in the full game they put Blaze in there, because I wanted to play as her, because she's like my favorite Sonic character that isn't Sonic. They also didn't have some characters that were in like the original, or like the new trailer, like Sage wasn't in there, which I thought was interesting, because I thought they'd just throw her in to be like, oh, Frontiers. And each character also has their own stats, which I thought was interesting, like Sonic and Shadow are more speed types, Omega and Eggman are heavies. And while I was playing the game, I learned I really like the handling or speed types. Like I choose basically Shadow's car, and I really like to play as like Cream and Amy. But then Shadow is also really fun to play as. But yeah, I just did terrible as Omega. It's just so bad. So I probably do like the handling a bit better, because it gives me a little bit more control actually racing. Which, like, I love to drift, and this drift feels almost like Mario Kart 8, but if you drift too long, you'll like go on the inside. But yeah, handling is probably my favorite stat so far, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be like a tier list that comes out once the game's like officially out and everything, where it's like, oh, choose this guy. And you can also choose your cars. I think you can make a car, but I didn't really look too much into that, because I just kind of wanted to keep racing. I don't know if it's new to this game, but there is like also these like other power-up type things that you can put on, like buffs. And I think that's really interesting. And it's like not everyone's on the even playing field, because some people have this thing that makes this item bigger. Stuff like that, which I think can make the game more interesting. But I don't know exactly how much it's going to affect the actual race. You know, like I feel like in the full game we'll get a better sense of, okay, you want to use this, you want to use that. And yeah, the items again, I'm like, most of these don't really feel like Sonic items in particular. Like you got the wisps from Colors, but then you also have like a rocket fist thing. And it's like, sure, I can see it in Sonic, but they don't like scream Sonic to me. Oh, but you also have Omo Chow, and I kind of like Omo Chow in this game. He'll just like fly in front of you and give you rings. And I really liked when there was a guy who was like, I think probably directly behind me, but then the Omo Chow's a little bit in front of him and then in front of me, so I kept picking up all his rings. So I thought that was funny. And this game, like Mario Kart 8, you can only hold like 10 coins and that'll boost your speed. And they do pretty much the same thing in this game. But you can hold like so many more rings, which I really like. Like, I don't hate coins in Mario Kart 8, but once you get 10, they're kind of useless, especially when you get them as an item. But yeah, so overall I thought the racing was really fun. The different like flying / like when you're in the water I thought was interesting. I don't love the drifts, because it's just like, I feel like you don't really drift when you're flying. Also, the tricks feel kind of weird because in Mario Kart I'm so used to pressing a button to do a trick. In this game you just kind of like fling your analog stick in all the directions to do like a bajillion tricks. And so, you know, and it gives you the same speed boost. It's just something I noticed and something that like you'll realize everyone's doing, tricking as many times as you can. And something I also wanted to talk about that I didn't think I would is that the match like waiting thing I really like, because it acts a lot like Mario Kart 8's online, where you're all just kind of like waiting in this one area, and then you can actually communicate with the other players by this like ring of basic words, like you can say hello, yes, or whatever. But I really like saying hello, and then you could see other people say hello, maybe just because it's the beta, but I feel like people are way more like talkative in this thing than Mario Kart 8. And I also really liked all the different designs for each character. They look like hand-drawn, and they're really cute. I want to see more of them, you know? I want to see what Blazes look like. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Once again, I really haven't played too many Sonic Racing games, but I think this is a great one. Let me know what you think of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, if there's anything I missed. I've just been rambling this whole video, so I think that there probably is some stuff I missed. So if there is and you wanted to talk about it and be like, hey, you missed this, let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and goodbye.